Today on We Love It Outdoors, South Dakota just may be the ultimate sportsman's playground. Even in the ice cold of winter, when pheasant hunting is red hot, and fishing is even hotter.
Look at that beautiful white crappie.
And guess what? We love it. I'm Dan Eigen, full-time guide and avid outdoorsman. These days, it's easy to get stuck inside in a virtual world. But the real world is outside.
That awesome looking fish.
So I challenge you to put your instincts to work, making real memories with real people. Because we love it outdoors. One of our goals on We Love It Outdoors is to try and experience as many new outdoor adventures as we can. But some places are just too good to visit just once. So it is with Chad Schilling's Oahe Wings and Walleyes.
Come on in, guys. Hey, Dan.
Chad Schilling.
How we doing, buddy? Welcome back.
Good to see you.
Hi, how we doing?
Just outside the tiny town of Akaska, South Dakota, this wildlife paradise on the prairie is one of those places where the finest hunting and the greatest fishing all exist in the same place. And sometimes, like here, in the frigid temps of midwinter, they both can be fantastic at the same time. That's exactly what my brother-in-law Chris Estel and me and the We Love It Outdoors crew are here to experience. With only 3 days remaining in the pheasant hunting season, the birds are tightly grouped in heavy cover, and the shooting can be incredible. And the walleye and crappie bite through the ice on Lake Oahe is just starting to heat up.
This time of year is special. I mean, in the beginning of the year, anybody can line up, walk through a field, and maybe kill a couple birds. Right now, we're gonna have to do some game planning. I mean, this is big time strategy. I mean, it's gonna look like an NFL draw board when we get ready to go into these things. So it's exciting. I mean, you'll hear me screaming more than you've ever heard in the beginning of the season. I get pretty excited. This is, you know, we have to beat these birds at their game, and they're good at it. I mean, they've been doing it all year, so.
And are you gonna shoot today?
I'm gonna carry a shotgun for the first time all year, so we'll see. I don't know, I've been giving a lot of customers, teasing them pretty bad all year, so we'll see. If they get to see me miss a few times, I might have a lot of phone calls on this deal, so we're gonna have to, hopefully these guys will edit a little better and make me look good, so.
With the season winding to a close, we're going to start with the pheasants. A year ago, I brought my daughter Elizabeth out for her first pheasant hunting experience and saw firsthand how this place gets its ringneck reputation. But that was opening weekend. Here, at the very end of the season, we're dealing with roosters that have a master's degree in not getting shot.
Beginning of the year, you can line up and just walk through a field. Right now, we have to have that field surrounded before we ever start. So our first field runs at a kind of a kitty corner. It's just a little grove of trees. There's food down the middle. Dan, I'm gonna put you on the side and probably Chris on the opposite side. And you guys are rovers. You move, you get where the birds are coming out. You know, but you guys are gonna be in position along with Bob and Quentin, or Justin and Dale. We'll have this field completely surrounded, and then we're gonna start to come in. If these birds are flying out here, I need guys to move and get into position. These birds don't fly at you. They're gonna find our gaps. It's like they can measure the distance between you, and wherever it's the widest, that's where they're going. So be ready to move and get where you need to be to shoot these birds. And the thing is, it happens fast. I mean, this is all gonna go at once, and then we'll go to another field and we'll do the same thing.
The prairie storm are gonna come on fire right now.
Feeling good, I'm ready to go.
There goes pheasants out the right.
Even as we moved into position to surround this small stand of thick cover, the hunt-wise birds are already bailing out.
Let's go, boys, get them up.
Once the dogs moved in, the action really started to get crazy.
They're running around up there. Coming at you, Bob. Bird up, head. Get them, dogs.
Here we go, rooster.
Now! Yeah, get him, dogs, get him, dogs. Rooster!
Yeah. Took 2 shots, but dropped them.
Nice work, Dan.
Thank you. First rooster with the new Stoger. Feels good, really good.
Come on, dogs. Come on, Boone. Come on, Crockett. Look at the birds going, lots of hens. You know, like you've seen, Dan's first shot, that was a long shot. I mean, right off the bat, he had to really reach out there and touch them. We'll switch up and go to a 3-inch shell this time of year. You know, it's not so much that guys are always, I don't want to shoot them birds up. We don't ever have birds that are shot up this time of year. We actually are sick of cripples. You know, that big load, big heavy number 4, it breaks these birds down this time of year, and you don't lose so many. I mean, that's always our game plan, is to never lose any birds. And we run a lot of dogs, we take our time looking for them, but a big shell starts that whole process out right.
We jumped a bunch of birds on our first walk, mostly hens, but we did manage to bag a couple beautiful roosters, and believe me, it was only the beginning.
Nice bird, that's a magnum.
The We Love It Outdoors team is in the great state of South Dakota on an end-of-the-season pheasant hunt where the birds are smart, fast, and tough to kill. Unlike the early season when a straightforward walk can do the trick, late season hunting requires scouting.
Look at all 3 of those.
There's your limit right there.
Yep.
Strategy,
But if we can get this cut off and then everybody goes south.
and some teamwork.
The big goal to this is you don't want the middle of your line to get in there. You want the outsides maybe a little first, but everybody there together. Otherwise, one guy goes through and they all blow out the sides, nobody gets any shoot. Guys see birds fly and they start getting excited and they rush out there. It's all about containment. It's like being an outside linebacker. Make the play come to the middle. That's what we're trying to do here. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
We got Chris coming in from this other side. I'm gonna meet him in the middle, and we're gonna push it to the south against the wind. We got this field surrounded. We just saw a ton of birds fly in here. We're gonna kill them.
What do we got here? Hens, hens. Here comes one. Dan! I was behind him on 3 shots. That's how it's supposed to be. That was my first bird in range this year, so.
I'm not as much of a deadeye as I thought I was. I'm missing.
Crockett, no, Crockett. Go boy, Boone, out. Thanks, buddy. A little bit of dog slobber on him, but beautiful South Dakota pheasant, late season bird. This was one of the birds early in the year that barely had any colors. He had light stripes down his chest and he didn't have the full colors. Look at here. He's got one big spur, one huge spur, and then one not so big. Ooh, somebody hit him in the foot, and apparently I'm the only one shooting, so that must have been me. But one of many.
What do we got? What's in there?
Here you go, Dan! Yeah!
Yes!
Woo! Shot! Woo! What we call that in this business was a poke and a prayer. Dan just got a headshot at about 80 yards, so that was beautiful. Out. Like I said, that's all he got was a headshot. Good eater. Hand! Hand! Get him, get him, get him.
Double, double, double!
That was a poke.
Another walk ends with another nice collection of ringnecks.
I put my finger right in the hole of the breast, and with one quick pull, I'm done. That's the whole bird right there.
Back at the lodge, the butchering process goes quick because there's nothing better than a pheasant breast in the hands of a guy who knows what to do with it. And my brother-in-law Chris just happens to be that guy.
What I'm going to do today is a stuffed pheasant breast. We're going to have that with a gnocchi with butternut squash, and we're just going to do a side salad as well. First, what I've got is I've diced up some Gouda cheese. Got that all nice and small cubed, and also I did some Honeycrisp apples. Doesn't really matter what kind of apple, but it's going to be a Gouda and apple stuffing. So we're going to put that in there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare the pheasant breast, and you'll pound that flat. Be a little careful because the These breasts are pretty tender. Get it to about 1/4 inch. I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna start with the wide side towards me, and then I'm gonna take some of this stuffing and I'm gonna lay it right over the top and just cover the whole breast with it. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna roll up these this breast, all right, and then we're just gonna leave it with the seam side down. We're gonna bread these things and then we're gonna get them into the oven. So what I'm using here is a little panko breadcrumbs, some fine ground almonds, probably about a 50-50 mixture. So we just take the breast out, we're gonna roll it in the flour. You're gonna get into that egg dip, and we're gonna roll it around in this breading. Just kind of push that right on there like that. I'll keep going and get the rest of these all breaded up, and then we'll pop them in the oven. Let's go ahead and pull these out, and I'll do the next step here. We're gonna take some of this cherry jam, and we're just gonna lace a little bit up on top of each of these breasts. And then we're gonna pop it back in the oven for about another 5 minutes. Caramelized up just a little bit. It smells delicious. All right, let's get that over here. And there you have it. Stuffed pheasant breast with cherry jam and squash gnocchi. All right, guys, come on over and enjoy.
When it comes to outdoor playgrounds, few places can hold a candle to South Dakota, where you've got access to the world-class hunting and fishing virtually year-round. After a great day of midwinter wing shooting, we're going to give the shotguns a chance to cool down, grab the fishing rods, and head out onto the frozen surface of massive Lake Oahe, where you'll probably assume we're going to target walleyes. But Chad's got a little secret that I know was a surprise to me. Lake Oahe has become a crappie hotspot.
So Chad, this whole crappie fishery, it's a new deal or what?
It is. You know, we haven't had 5 years of crappies on Lake Oahe, and people, they still don't even talk about Lake Oahe with crappies, but I do. This has been like a new addiction to me. I mean, fishing, I've done it my whole life and I love every minute of it, but when you can add in these slabs that we get here on Lake Oahe, spring and now the winter bite, well, I think it's just me. I think the fishing was there, I just wasn't very good at it. So we come in, we focus on these creek arms, and any timber or major drops, cliffs are just as important as the timber, and set up and do a little suspended jigging, and it's a great bonus with the walleyes.
Yeah, I love it out here.
To locate active reservoir crappie, Chad targets main points in creek arms, focusing on areas with steep breaks near deep, flooded timber that provide cover and feeding opportunities all day long. Once located, we'll use a variety of brightly colored jigs, spoons, and even small vertical jigging lures, like a number 2 or a number 3 jigging wrap tipped with a Eurolarva or a small minnow head.
There we go. Oh, what do we got here, Chilling?
It's gotta be a crappie.
It is a crappie.
When you get that one, I'm gonna have another one over here by the time you get him out of the hole.
I got it wrapped around the transducer a little bit, but yeah, this is really cool. I mean, I haven't really seen too many of these. Back home, it's the black crappies, so that's just a cool fish. And you know what triggered that is I had just switched over to a little buckshot rattle spoon and tipped it with these Eurolarva that you're seeing crawling all over my dash, but that one was pretty aggressive. It's just a really pretty fish.
As always, electronics play a key role in finding and catching fish, but a quality sonar like the new FLX28 is especially important when fishing over these deep flooded trees.
When you're in these trees and you're using a jig and wrap like I am, if I go to that 6-foot zoom, you can see the heavier trees there, the red, the pink, that's the heavier branches. If I get my jig and wrap in there too much, I tend to leave it there, so it saves me a lot of baits. I'm able to target where I want to be. These are real light branches right here that I'm going through, and if I happen to catch one of them, I can break them off with this fire line I'm using. That's an incoming. He's coming up real, just as slow and lethargic, and no, no, don't go that way.
Let me get above. Oh yeah, I should have my other bait down there. There we go.
Nicely done.
I like it, I like it. I went to a smaller bait.
Boy, and it came instantly,
It's
didn't
not,
it?
it's not a whopper, I don't think, but you know what? It's,
Hey Dan, it's
look at that.
40 below out with wind chill. It's just what we're looking for.
See, that makes me feel really good. Look at that bait right there. That's what the trick was right there. I was using, you know, a bigger spoon, and you know what? Downsized a little bit. Went with that little demon or whatever that is with some Euro larva, and that thing came up pretty aggressively and took it. So yeah, I mean, this is really, that's a pretty fish. Look at the coloration. I mean, purples, blues, silvers, greens. That is a white crappie, but man, Chad, this is fun.
For the first couple, 3 years, it was a really well-kept secret. I mean, there was nobody doing it except me out here beating on these fish. And, but boy, it's gotten to where people are accidentally catching large numbers of crappies in the spring and the summer. And last year was the first year I seen any numbers through the ice, but this winter's been amazing. So every year, it just, now is the time. You're here at the right time. This bite is getting better every year. You know, we're, hopefully there's still a ways to go up, but if it leveled off right here, it's still an incredible crappie fishery.
Due to the frigid cold front conditions, we had to work for our fish today. But the action was steady all day long, and in the end, we put together a great stringer of fish, and all the proof I needed that there's more than one species worth catching on Lake Oahe. Lake Oahe, it's not just walleyes.
Not anymore.
When We Love It Outdoors returns, we leave the fins and head back to the feathers for one more day in the field with the South Dakota pheasants. It's the final day of the 2013 South Dakota pheasant season, and every hunter, either two-legged or four-legged, is ready for one more day with the ringnecks. And it turned out to be one of the wildest days of wing shooting I've ever experienced.
Where? Oh yeah.
Woo! Rooster!
Watch out!
Yahoo!
There is no better sport.
I'll give you a little less lead on that one.
Atta buddy, good dog. Is that an old bird?
Nice job, gentlemen. Good shooting.
Nice driving. Look at that pile of birds, huh? And they keep coming. Nice. This is Ford country here, busting through snowdrifts. The birds already were starting to get up, so we had to kick her into gear a little bit to get and flank this field before they all bail out. Look at them all. I can see them running in the field.
This should be the best flight we've seen all day. Here we go, hand coming. Rooster, Quentin, be a coming. That one I centered. Rooster! Rooster!
And away. Get ready, get ready. Look at this. Here's a rooster right here. Look at this one. Yep. Look at that. Oh boy, I'm glad I switched to the full choke. This is a blast.
Rooster! Quentin! I don't think I did that, but the timing was sure nice. That was awesome. Oh man. You know, we're covering a field with 8 guys that know what they're doing here. And that's an amazing thing to do. This field, if you look at it, it's twice the size of anything we should be able to cover. And guys know what to do. They're moving to where the birds are moving. We're just covering as much ground as we can. And obviously some are getting away, but boy, we've got people in the right place a lot and it's working really well. This is one quick hunt and we're shooting a bunch in a hurry, so that's what December in South Dakota is all about. Buckley's got the Jeep block. Rooster! Nice, double team. Crit. Get it, dog, good shot.
These birds, you know, I mean, you cripple one and they can run big time. So in that case right there, you know what, you got to keep shooting until you kill them. Good dog, yeah! Yeah, buddy.
Come here.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Good boy, out.
That's an older bird, or what?
It is a big dark colored
Yeah,
bird. We got a hand going behind us. This year's again, Dan, but it doesn't get any prettier. Look at the tail feathers on that thing. Another example, perfect spot for winter habitat. We've got a low area in the field. We've got some canary grass coming through here. And right beside here is a corn and a sunflower field. Gives birds both options of what they want. It's surrounded by a bean field. These birds can go any direction and get feed. We're standing here and these things just keep coming out behind us. I walked this twice early season, seen like 3 birds. Now it's full. Leftover fields where you leave some grass, food in every direction, you know, cover that's not going to be hit by the big north cold winds, and you have birds. I mean, that's just what makes these pheasants. Rooster! Nice! Yeah, Chris! Sorry, I shot it. No, I didn't shoot, buddy. Get him. Rooster! Yeah! Dead bird. Head! Rooster! Yeah!
Atta, buddy.
Pheasants like flies buzzing all around us in every direction. You really have to experience this to appreciate just how many birds really do live here. But with rain starting to fall and the likelihood of it becoming heavy snow, this field would be the last of the season. Still, what a way to end it. Late season pheasants on the South Dakota prairie, combined with an untapped cold water crappie fishery, it's everything an outdoorsman would want, all in one place. And oh, by the way, we love it! Continue this adventure by visiting your local Mills Fleet Farm store or shop online at fleetfarm.com for all your sporting good needs and more. fleetfarm.com.